Welcome to the Creature Cast, the official console creatures podcast. I'm your host today, Steve Egvar, alongside me, as always, is my good pal Bobby. How the heck are you today?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Very exciting. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We are well on the way to closing out 2025 after a brief hiatus, but we just put out our Kirby Air Riders review, as well as reminiscing about your time in Japan, which is why we had a couple of weeks off. But that being said, we're back on the horse. We got lots of games to discuss as we close out the year and start talking about game of the year between us and everything like that. So that's going to be very exciting. So we appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. I've been champing at the bit, waiting for you to get back so I could start talking about one particular game that it feels like has kind of taken over the zeitgeist right now. It's taken over the multiplayer space, and I just want to get right into it because it's just been overwhelming. It's just been spilling out of me how much I can't stop thinking about this game, and it's Arc Raiders. It just feels like it just has taken over. It's all I think about. It's all I see on TikTok and Instagram. It's all I see on X and Bluesky. I just first up, have you had the chance to play it at all? Because I know you've been traveling and everything. I'm just curious.
No, outside of the betas that I did earlier this year. No, I haven't played it. I've just been watching people post clips online. Like I've seen your clips and I've seen some stuff on like TikTok because it's like you said, it's blowing up on TikTok, and I'm just like so enamored with what this game is all about. Like I feel like for the first time in years, I'm excited for an extraction shooter that has some legs to stand on. It looks like I'm like I don't know. I'm curious to see where it's gonna go, but from the outset, it looks like people are loving Arc Raiders.
Similar to you. I mean, I had the chance to play the beta earlier this year, but it came out around the same time as the beta for Marathon, and one reason or another, I went that direction and I started playing Marathon. I was like, okay, it's fine. It's it's what I expected out of an extraction shooter. And then I heard people ranting and raving about Arc Raiders, and it kind of came and went. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know more than that. And then all of a sudden, I requested a code for Arc Raiders, got it, installed, and I was like, I'll give it a shot, just kind of see how it is. And I would say, like, within the first 2 rounds, everything clicked for me. Everything that has since escaped me as far as the genre goes of an extraction shooter, of a looter shooter, has escaped me ever since playing like the Division 2 and its Dark Zone mode. I've tried Tarkov, which is too grindy and too hardcore for me. Like, I don't feel like I can really progress and have a good time without spending copious amounts of time with that. I've tried R6 Extraction, and that never stuck with me. I thought it was fine for the 2 weeks I was playing it, but it was like, okay. And even Marathon, like the beta that I played was fine, but I didn't find that there was like purpose. And I think purpose and accessibility is exactly what like Arc Raiders kind of has, and it's now become like it's the game that I can't stop thinking about, and I haven't had a multiplayer experience like this since Call of Duty Warzone came out, of a game that I'm constantly thinking about. Okay, well, when do I get to play next? And it's a game anytime a clip shows up on my feed on TikTok, I'm watching it. I'm watching what other people are doing. It's this, like, there's like the social component to it, but also like this really unique multiplayer experience. And there's so much to talk about and unpack with Arc Raiders, but I guess, like, just from the top down, I'm shocked that it plays as well as it does. It's one of the best extraction shooters that feels good on a controller. The audio design is immaculate. Like, it's one thing to see clips on social media and stuff, but like, it's another thing to experience a full round start to finish and kind of figure out like the little nuances with the sound design and the music. And the other thing I got to commend it for, and not commend the game, but just commend the player base, is that it is a game that is the right amount of friendly versus toxic. And what I mean by that is that, I'm playing this like for the most part solo. I'm doing solo runs, and I'm just going in on my own. And for the most part, people are pretty chill, pretty friendly. People are doing their own thing. They're battling the arcs. There's the PvPvE element. So there are, the AI robots that you can find on the map, as well as, other players that are scavenging, looting in all these different areas and across that are accessible within the game. But yeah, you'll come up to someone and you can either, jump on voice comms and just, talk to them with prox chat, or you can throw up like emotes and everyone goes, "Oh, don't shoot if you're friendly," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's the right amount of like friendliness where people are like, "Oh yeah, no worries. Like, hey, if you're going to go extract, come with me. We're going to go together. We're going to get out of this." And everyone goes and extract. But then there's also like the dials cranked just enough towards like the toxic level where it's like you never know if you're going up to someone and you see someone in the distance, you're like, is that friendly? Even though they said maybe they're friendly, but like you never know if they're going to turn around and just like shoot you in the head, or vice versa. For me at least, like I'm always like, well, do I want to be the asshole right now? Do I want to be the heel right now and just like lob a grenade at this guy, or attract some arcs and just kind of like cause some chaos? So it's this very like interesting social experiment too, within the community. But yeah, I've been putting, I don't know, upwards of like 40 or almost 50 hours into this game, and it hasn't even started to grow old for me.
Yeah, and that's a good sign of a game that will likely have some lasting appeal, right? Like it's as fun as it is the first hour as it is like the 40th for you.
Yep.
Um, I've seen all the videos, and like it just looks so good. And even in the beta period, like I was hooked from the outset. I was like, this is something special.
Mhm.
And then in the ramp up to launch, just as I was leaving for my trip, I was just watching videos on like YouTube and TikTok, and I saw this one where it was like 6 random people recording their play session, and it's like you see it from every angle, and you're seeing them all fighting an arc,
Yeah.
and it's like you see, I think I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Like one guy is on the roof of a building, and like he's shooting at this robot, and then you have 2 other guys who are hiding in buildings, and you have another guy up close, and you're seeing all of them simultaneously deal damage, and it's all happening in real time. Like this is
Right.
insane. It looks so cool, and then the video kind of comes together and it shows you every angle of what's going on. I'm like, oh wow, this is cool, and I haven't seen anything like it in quite a while. More so to the point, I feel like the last time I was excited for like an extraction game was Division 1,
Okay.
because
Sure.
I think I've even talked to you about this. Like the dark zone in that game was unreal. Like
Yeah.
I never felt uh, the sense of dread I felt trying to get through those areas, because like at that point, like I had this incredible level of loot, like all this loot I wanted to extract, but like I was terrified to get to the extraction point, because like I knew there was likely people there waiting for me, and it's like
Right.
I haven't felt anything like that since, and I fell off like Rainbow Six. I fell off the marathon beta. I actually remember that weekend where the marathon beta and Arc Raiders were live at the same time, and like I was playing both, and I dumped marathon after a half hour. I'm like, this is the most boring game I've ever played, and we all know how that game ended up turning out. Like it's been delayed indefinitely, and
Yeah.
like there's all these things that are wrong with it. And it's like then you have Arc Raiders come out. I'm like, oh wow! I ended up spending like 7 or 8 hours that weekend playing Arc Raiders. I'm like, this is something really cool. It was so unique, and it still is. And like, as much as I love like a good traditional first person shooter, like I'm happy that I'm able to find a companion to those games. Like as much as I love Battlefield, like I know what I'm playing with that, but like then you have a game like this where there's a lot of uncertainty of what you're about to get into. So like you can load up a match and you don't know what you're going to come across. And like I love
No,
that.
and it's all about those like smaller stories, right? Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
in-game like personal experiences where you can have runs where it's super chill and you're just going in, you're popping in, and you avoid some of the larger arcs like the Bastion or the Leaper and stuff like that. And you're like, I'm just gonna go in with the sole mission of getting the resources I need to work on a workbench and upgrade a workbench, or I want to get the resources to, upgrade my weapons or something. Like you create like your own purpose, and then you go in, and then like the stories that ensue, like crossing paths with another player, or like you were saying, like getting like finding a group of other players and going after like the robot, or just pulling back entirely and be like, I just want to get in and out. I'm going to go complete a quest. The game gives you so many different directions for you to go in, or vice versa. You can create your own direction. And I feel like that's something that, as far as like my experiences go, that's something like the Division and the Dark Zone never had. Rainbow Six Extraction didn't really
Yeah,
have, of like, we're gonna point you in the right direction or give you like the tools you need to kind of feel like there's purpose within every single run, so it doesn't feel as monotonous or as like open ended, so that it's just like it kind of becomes boring if you don't have any purpose. And I feel like Arc Raiders has that like compass that kind of like drives you every single time. And that way, like for me, every single run feels unique. Every single time I drop into like one of the many maps, I think at this point there's one, two, three, four. There's 5 different maps. They just added another one because they already like somehow launched the game and then had a very substantial update last weekend. So now we're at
yeah,
5 different maps, and every single one feels unique. Every single one like fundamentally has like different difficulties in there. They also have the night raids, which are really cool. So you'll drop into like one of the same maps. It's nighttime, but there are more arcs on the map, but also all the loot, like twice as much loot exists there. So you can go into some high loot areas and you know have to face even more enemies, but you could get out with a lot more great loot. So I feel like the gameplay loop is
yeah.
just so immaculately balanced. That every single time I feel like I'm having a new fresh experience, and it doesn't ever feel samey.
And that's a big, uh, talking point for a lot of people I've seen online. Is it's just like they all said the same thing. Every time I load up the game, it doesn't feel like I'm playing the same game, and like I love that because
Mhm.
like I said, that's a true sign of a game that's gonna last a long time. It's just you're never feeling bored. Whereas I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7, like I'm bored before I even start playing.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I mean, we will talk about Black Ops,
yeah,
7 in a little bit down the road, because I do wanna talk about that as
yeah,
well. But, yeah, I mean, Arc Raiders just has this spice to it. Like, there's just something about it that I haven't really experienced in a multiplayer game. And it's just, yeah, like I said, I can't get over like the small stories where, for instance, like one of the other nights I was playing on the spaceport map, and on it is like this giant tower that you can kind of zip line up to, and there's some like
yeah,
loot up top and everything. And I went on my own, seemingly by myself, and then all of a sudden one of the snitch arcs comes in and calls on 5 different arcs just to like kind of like beeline it towards me, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. I've got like my rifle and my assault rifle or whatever, and I had to like jump back inside. And I'm like, it feels cinematic. It feels like a war movie at this point, and I'm just like, I'm
yeah,
fighting for my dear life. I'm fighting out, and then all of a sudden I get down, and I'm like, well, fuck, I just lost all my ammo. But
yeah,
lo and behold, on the other side of the building, there was another solo player who all of a sudden he brought it upon himself. He's like, I'm going over there. So he jumps over this like large chasm that like separates the two pieces of the tower,
yeah,
jumps in, hits me with the defib. I'm back up, and we're just spraying out the window. And it's like it's like organic moments like that you can't program into a
yeah,
game. You can't force players
exactly.
to have in another multiplayer game. Like it all honestly brings me back to some of those organic moments we experienced when playing Helldivers 2. I
Yeah,
mean, a
those are
lot of
some.
those were more like comical. We're making, the jokes and the laughs as we're going along, like throwing grenades at at one another and stuff like that. It's real stupid shit. But to be fair, like there are organic player-based moments in Helldivers 2, and similar to Arc Raiders, it's all player driven. It's all community based. Like,
Yeah,
the developers, Embark Studios, like they couldn't have programmed that occurrence or stuff
No,
like you were seeing, you know, the 6 players going up against the Bash, and you can't program that.
no, and that's why I feel like Embark's one of the better and more unique developers out there. Like they even the finals. I don't know if you've spent a lot of time with the finals. Like that's still like a pretty impressive first-person shooter, and like I love the stakes in that game. And I think as a studio, like, they've kind of nailed the formula for what a shooter needs to be, whether it's team based or PvP. Like that, they have the juice. Like everything I'm seeing between both games is exactly what I've been looking for years at this point. And like I'm finally back from my trip. Our creators on my console. I'm going to be playing it exclusively for the next couple months with Battlefield. I think those are going to be my 2 shooters for the next year, because like they cover all my bases. I see that the reception's really good for our creators, and I love the fact that it's so hard to point out a moment where it feels scripted. Everything just comes together in a way that it's unpredictable. And like I love the fact that I don't play a game and I know what to anticipate. Like that's so unique. And more to that point, like I love the fact that you're playing by yourself, and there are people who are also just like, you know, doing their own thing, and they come across you and they save you out of, you know, the goodness of their heart. And it's like you don't get that. You don't get that in a lot of games. It's like I've been playing a mix, yeah, just like even like what was I playing recently that was just like that? God. I think it was Battlefield. Yeah, Battlefield. Like there are people not playing, you know, the objective. Like if I'm, you know, trying to do something and you're a medic, like why are you not reviving me? Like you should be doing, you know, play your part. Whereas you're playing our creators and people are playing their parts. Like you're working together to stop these massive machines. I'm like they don't have to do what they have to do, but they're, you know, they're actively engaging with the gameplay and the systems to make sure everyone's coming out alive. Like I love that.
Yeah, like I said, it's a social experiment, right? Like
exactly.
You don't see that in very many games where people are going out of their way to like save other people, stuff like that. Like it's very unique.
Well, that's why I play medic in Battlefield. Like I love helping people, right? Like it's like there's more reward in helping people than, you know, doing your own thing, and that's why Battlefield has always rewarded you for, you know, going out of your way to heal people and, you know, make sure that they're stocked up on ammo and stuff. And then you see a game like Arc Raiders, and it's exactly what I feel like I would be doing. It's like if I see you down and like you're trying to get to the extraction point, I'm obviously going to try and help you. I feel like it benefits not just me, it benefits both of us. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely love what the reception is for this game. I'm amazed by the amount of people that are playing it on Steam.
Oh my god, the concurrence!
Like the numbers are just growing. They're just like constantly growing, and it's like
they beat their own record 2 weeks in a row. So it's only getting more popular and growing. The community, it feels like it's, you know, substantial, and it feels like there's a lot of stickiness right now, especially like we said, Battlefield is out, and then Call of Duty Black Ops 7 just released and everything, but it doesn't seem like it took away from players, at least on Steam. Feels very consistent.
Yeah, like right now, I just pulled up Steam DB. Yeah. There's 327,000 people in game playing on Steam,
and that's only like 100,000 less than on the weekend.
Yeah.
So on a weekday, just after the workday, at least, you know, here in Canada,
yeah,
300,000 is crazy.
All-time peak was 480, almost 482,000, 100,000 people playing.
Yep.
Battlefield 6 is 187,000 people in game right now.
Like, could you imagine
not even in the top 10?
Like 3 times the amount of people playing a Battlefield game.
Call of Duty, yeah, right now there's 61,000 people in game.
That's bad.
So yeah, so basically, Arc Raiders is more than double what Battlefield and Call of Duty are doing right now.
Put together, yeah.
Put together.
That's insane.
It's unheard of because for how many decades were Call of Duty and Battlefield like the games everyone was playing every year? Like I was that guy. I played both every year. I was there day one. And I'm at this point now where it's like they've not respected my time or the legacy of, for example, Call of Duty, and we're going to talk about Black Ops 7, but like,
yeah,
I feel like it's lost all its steam, the series, for me, and I'm glad that there's another third entry that's kind of like, well, we're going to take your milk, and
sure.
That's what Embark's doing right now. They've used all their knowledge from the DICE era of Battlefield to make a game that's as coherent, if not better.
Yeah. Let's talk about Black Ops because I have a lot of thoughts on that as well. But rounding out my thoughts on Arc Raiders, I think that it's a must play this game this year. I think anyone that's kind of been craving a multiplayer experience or something unique and fresh,
100%.
or maybe even like an extraction shooter, but has been turned off by other ones. I think this is the most accessible. This is the one that kind of onboards you the most. And I will say that for a premium price game, it's very, very fair with its in-game like microtransactions and stuff like that. It really doesn't tempt you to go in and purchase more than you've already purchased just right off the hop. Like you can get some cosmetics. There's a battle pass in there if you really want it. But as far as getting in, having fun with your friends or having fun solo, you could just do that right off rip without having to invest more money. And like I said, if you're playing solo, it's and I said this before in passing to other people, but it's like it's the most casual game for casual players or the most like hardcore game for people who want to play this hardcore. If you want to go in there and you want to grind out, epic loot, like epic tier loot, or grind out like all your upgrades and stuff like that, you can totally do that. Or you can be there just for the stories and just for the shits and giggles of experiencing the social experiment and this multiplayer experience. So it's kind of the best of both worlds right now. And I hope that it kind of stays that way. I hope that come the holidays, if this game gets gifted to other people, it doesn't really turn into something that it's not right now. I hope that like it can kind of maintain its audience, maintain this kind of like positive community that's kind of surrounding it right now.
Yeah, like that's what I'm looking forward to, is kind of joining that community. I'm definitely diving in later today. I just had to clear a couple hurdles, but like I'm finally there. I'm ready to dive in. I've already cleared out Black Ops from my hard drive. I couldn't keep it there.
Well, I know that Matt from PlayStation Generation, he just bought it too. After I wore him down and talked so highly of it for a while. So maybe we get a little trio group going at some point.
100%. Yeah, I'm down to do it. I mean,
cool.
100%. I feel like this is another game where it's better played with friends. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm down.
Okay. Cool.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, let's do it. Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Yeah.
It just came out.
It is
surprisingly, because no one's talking about it. It feels like there's
it's
tumbleweeds out there.
It really is, and like that's the most surprising takeaway I've had since it's launched. What was it, last week? Last Friday?
Yep, last Friday.
So, I mean, I don't necessarily hate Black Ops 7. I'm that parent where I'm not mad with you. I'm just disappointed in you.
You couldn't set it better than exactly how I'm feeling right now. Yeah.
It's yeah. I feel like the highs of Modern Warfare 2019 and Black Ops 6 and all the goodwill those two games did to once again reinvigorate Call of Duty have been washed down the toilet. I'm also super sad that we got such a great cast of characters and actors in Call of Duty and they were squandered. And I don't know how to feel about this game. I'm seeing reviews across the board. Some people are calling it the best Call of Duty. I'm seeing a lot of 6s. I'm like, I'm gonna be reviewing it. I'm gonna be posting something, but like, I don't think it's higher than a 5. There's no way. There's no way this game is that good because the co-op campaign is hot garbage. I think I feel like they've taken 10 steps back with the campaign.
Interesting.
I don't like it at all. I know it's something they're trying to do something new outside of the tried and true Call of Duty campaign, but the fact of the matter is when you do that tried and true campaign, it usually resonates way more and you get high reviews because we know what to expect. Whereas this campaign came along, you can't pause, you get kicked out if you're inactive. You can't save.
And I feel like, okay, so to jump in and then kind of preface, I've only been putting my time into the multiplayer experience. Just because I have been bouncing between Arc Raiders and Call of Duty this past week. But that being said, like speaking on the campaign just a little bit, like on paper, I'm not offended by anything that Black Ops 7 does. In fact, I kind of think that having a co-op focus campaign is kind of interesting, to be totally
100%.
honest. I mean, this comes from someone who loves Halo, loves the couch co-op, going through and being like, okay, I'm going to get some friends together. We're going to play. We're going to bump the difficulty up to veteran. Let's get through this together and everything. That sounds really cool. But then, you kind of mentioned it. It's like, once you start getting into it, it's like you get kicked for inactivity. You can't pause. It's like, well, what are we doing then? Like, it feels like you're not seeing the full vision of it.
How I want to spend my time because I am that guy who will pause the game to check something on his phone.
1000%.
And it's like, well, just because you went down to check an email or you're on TikTok, because I will pause and watch TikToks.
Yeah.
I'm getting kicked out and I have to start all over again. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. So you're just telling me that you structured this campaign a specific way and you can only play it this way. And regardless of the fact that it's only 6 hours, like, no, because I'm not
another one. Yeah.
And it just squanders a lot of the goodwill that Black Ops as a sub-series, has garnered over the last 10 plus years, right? Like, I always felt Black Ops was grittier and darker and more serious than like even Modern Warfare. And then you get none of that in this game. It's just goofy. It's goofier. And it's like you're leaning into the stupid stuff. Like I liked it was more guerrilla warfare. It's like you're not like you're not like shooting up an airport or doing something super hyperbolic. Right? You're this operative who goes under the weather, under the radar, and you're dealing in small scale warfare. This one here, it's none of that. It's like you're fighting massive like
Michael Rooker, like a giant Michael Rooker. Like, what are we doing?
Like, okay, I get it's a drug or whatever, but it's like
still
it's so uncreative.
Like I understand that even in Black Ops 6, they did have those like psychedelic but the mission where and it's like that was cool and everything, but we got to temper ourselves. Like you can't just double down because then it becomes expected. The reason why that level in particular in Black Ops 6 resonated so much was because it was unexpected. You didn't go into that game knowing, but like following it up once again with like a psychedelic or a psychological mission, it's like, and especially one that really does look that hokey. Again, I haven't played it myself, but just seeing the clips go around out of context, I'm like, this does not look good. And imagine going back in time. Imagine going back in time to like 2008 and showing someone that. Like that would be insane.
I wouldn't even go further. I'd go a little bit more recent. Like imagine coming off of Black Ops 2, which I love. I think Black Ops 1 and 2 are two of the best Call of Duties ever.
I agree. Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, in 10 years, you're going to be playing a game where you're shooting a massive version of Michael Rooker with 3 other people because you're all on drugs. And it's like,
absolutely.
No, that's not what Black Ops is. I still fondly remember how much I loved the first Black Ops.
Yep.
Because it was just so different. It wasn't Modern Warfare. It wasn't World at War. It was Black Ops.
It was Black Ops, yep.
And it's like, we've lost the plot on this, guys. This is not Call of Duty at this point. Like, I don't even recognize half of what Call of Duty is anymore between the stupid Beavis and Butthead skins
right.
and like the outrageous like battle passes, and it's like I like I said, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I expected better because you've got Raven on this, you've got Treyarch on this, you've got Sledgehammer, like all these studios who are talented, super talented, and like you're basically making them just create slop. They've lost their souls, and
Yeah.
I can tell because I can tell because I played every Call of Duty since it's come out, and I've spent hours playing Call of Duty. If there's one series I know is Call of Duty, it's like you've lost your soul.
I think what's become like the most apparent, and this goes back to, you know, the earlier reports coming from, you know, Modern Warfare 2 into Modern Warfare 3. And, you know, Jason Schreier, for instance, reported on like the fact that Modern Warfare 3 was designed and was intentional to be like DLC, was supposed to be like this ongoing support for Modern Warfare 2 and everything, and then it turned into like its own game, if we want to call it, which people, you know, were upset about the lackluster campaign and stuff like that. And I'm seeing this same trend again, whereas like everything that I'm seeing in Black Ops 7 tells me that this was supposed to be DLC, that this is just ongoing support, and then they charge the premium for it. And I'm getting a little upset having to not only like digest that. Granted, got a code for it. Activision gave it me a code for it, so it's not like I put my own money into this. But that being said, like it is hard to kind of fathom like this game, Black Ops 7 shouldn't have a 7 at the end. It should still have a 6. Like nothing feels different. You get some additional maps. You get, you know, the 6-hour campaign, which I guess is something, and then you get zombies, and it doesn't feel like we're getting all that much. Sure, there's some new weapons. Sure, you're getting the wall jump, which I'm not a huge fan of in the multiplayer component so far.
I think it's stupid. Like it adds literally nothing to the game. I don't even use it.
I hardly use it. Sometimes I accidentally use it by accidentally jumping on a wall, but like it feels like it was just added in to kind of try and justify the 7. But again, I don't think that it's a mechanic that helps justify a full price on this game.
When Titanfall 2 exists, there's no reason for wall jumps. They've perfected it.
Yep.
So like you're just basically telling me at this point, like you're creatively bankrupt, and you're trying to chase something that's been done pretty adequately by your former creators that you kicked out. So it's like I don't even know what we're doing here, guys. Like if you're gonna do wall jumping, just make Titanfall 3. Give us a Titanfall 3. Like buy the IP, do something with it.
Or, you know, go back to Advanced Warfare if that's really because then I can just say to myself, I'm not going to play this. But don't put like the futuristic, you know, the double jump, the wall running and stuff like that into a game that's Black Ops. Like it just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it myself.
I like the futuristic stuff because Black Ops, I think it was Black Ops 2 or 3. I think it was 3 maybe?
3 and 4 went pretty futuristic.
Those were good. I think 3, because I was 2013-ish. Because I remember attending an event for that game, and like I had a closed door representation from Activision, and it was like a whole thing, and it was like we're jumping into the future, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be really bad.
I get it. Yeah.
Then what we saw was really good. It was like I love the fact that they decided to bump the time up to, you know, near distant future, and like they nailed it. But this one here is like the worst version of the future that I've ever seen, because whatever drugs these people are doing are not what I'd be taking. Because like hell no, I'm not hallucinating with 3 other guys to shoot a Michael Rooker.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty absurd.
It's absurd. I don't know. And then more to the point, like I was that guy who really loved Black Ops 6. I think the multiplayer was finally in a place where I was like, whoa, this not only plays well, but like it's fun, and it's like I'm more than willing to spend every night playing for a couple hours, because it was just so finely tuned. Like I loved what they were doing with Black Ops, with the Omni movement and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
at Xbox Showcase 2024, like they made a big deal about this game and like what it means and what they've done, and like how they've gone back to some basics, but fine-tuned a lot of the mechanics to feel more natural. And then none of that's here in Black Ops 7. I feel like they've actually, regressed in a lot of ways. And it's like your Omni movement system sucks this year. I like the wall running. I would have preferred you just like we said, get rid of that and like just bring what worked in Black Ops 6 here, because it's none of that's here. I feel like it's even worse, because like I might be shooting at someone, and like if I try to jump left or right, like it doesn't feel like it did in Black Ops 6. Like it feels more like something you got in Modern Warfare, and I don't see where the omnic movement system is this year. It just doesn't even feel like it's implemented well.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree. And I feel like this year, with regards to Battlefield and then Arc Raiders coming out, like Call of Duty had everything to lose this year. And I feel like
they lost.
I mean, you brought it up right here on the show. Like the Steam numbers aren't really great. The reception to the game from critics and players isn't great. So I'm very interested to see. I mean, I'm not expecting a whole bunch of changes, but I'm interested to know what could end up happening as a result of this by next year. I'm not expecting them to like skip a year, or I'm not suggesting anything really major, but I do wonder like what's going on in boardrooms right now, where they're looking at this and thinking to themselves, maybe they change course or alter their development cycle again. It's going to be interesting.
So just to give you more definitive proof, listeners, because I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Right now, if I pull up OpenCritic and I look up all three games,
sure,
67% of critics recommend it. Sorry, 43% of critics recommend Call of Duty Black Ops 7. The average score is 67 for top critics. So like that's like the high. Those are the more consistent reviewers. But overall, 43% say you should play it.
Interesting.
The average scores are pretty much all over the board. The lowest is I see is, let's go, a 2 out of 5 or a 4 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Comparatively, we have Battlefield 6. 90% of critics recommend it. The lowest score is a 2 out of 5 or a 6.5 out of 10. But the reception is incredible. And then comparatively, you have Arc Raiders. 90% of critics recommend it. The lowest score I see right here is, let's see, lowest, a 4 out of 10, which makes no sense, from the Jimquisition, or 2 out of 5 from Eurogamer. But Eurogamer's review was basically just, saying all this use of AI was why the score is as low as it is. So, I mean, I'll take that with a grain of salt. But
sure,
those three games are the big shooters of the year. And like 2 years ago, you would have had the opposite. You would have had a high-rated Call of Duty.
1,000%.
100%, right? And then you have Battlefield, which I think the last one was 2042. That game was a stinker, and like I hated it.
Me too.
So like things have changed, and I'm glad that there's this tug of war between these brands. But like Call of Duty has been on the top for so long now that they've become so comfortable in what they've done that they've gotten lazy. And I hate using that word lazy, but the proof is there. I mean, look what's happened in the last couple of years. Like Modern Warfare 3 was hot garbage. That campaign was the most terrible thing that they've put out in years. And then they kind of redeemed themselves because I did love Black Ops 6's campaign.
Sure. Yeah, Black Ops 6 I had no real problems with. I really liked it.
It was a great culmination of kind of seeing what, you know, Frank was doing and some of the Masons and stuff like that. Great. But then you have Black Ops 7 and you have an actor like Milo Ventimiglia as your star, and then you have Kiernan Shipka as the villain, and like these are great actors, and like you squandered them for this slot product. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I hate using these words, but like, I mean, there's no other way to describe it at this point. It's just like I feel like there's just this reliability on AI that has taken the creativity out of a lot of these bigger studios. Like Microsoft studios have not all embraced AI, but like the ones that they have purchased have looked like they've been like, you know, mandated to start using AI to do their jobs, and like it's kind of waterfalling into every aspect, whether it's the campaigns or the multiplayer, or you know, the achievements, or you know, the simplest things like badges and calling cards. It's like, no, this is not what I'm paying for. Like, I'm paying for something that's uniquely available by Call of Duty standards, or like Raven or Treyarch or Sledgehammer. Like, you guys are the best at what you do, but like you're telling me at this point you don't really care.
Yep. Well, it's unfortunate. I'm going to play the campaign and give it the full shake just to see it all in context. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of, like you said, disappointed in it. But thankfully, Arc Raiders is here.
That's the thing, right?
I can't be upset.
You have alternatives this year, and thankfully, like, there's more than two big games to play this year. Like, Splitgate 2, you know, just, you know, tried to make shooters great again, but it turns out that Arc Raiders is the one that saved.
That's what we needed. Yeah. That's exactly right.
So like I'm like I said, I'm like, for the third time, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Thankfully there are your Call of Duty siblings that have, you know, stepped up to the plate and, you know, taken the responsibility to be coherent, fun games. So thanks to Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders, because like at this point, like, if I'm gonna have a game that's over 100 gigabytes on my console, it's gonna be something I approve of, and not Call of Duty, because like I'm so sick of that aspect of it too. Like, if you're gonna give me 100 gigabytes, like, I'm not putting AI slop in my hard drive.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out on both games over the next couple weeks as, you know, we continue to play them. But yeah, Bobby, if people wanted to connect with you online, where do they do so?
Yeah, consolecreatures.com, B Pashalitis on Bluesky, and follow us on Bluesky and Instagram and TikTok.
Amazing. And as for me, you can find me across the internet at AskVigvari. And like I said, we have plenty more on the pipeline as we head towards the end of the year and into the discussion of what game of the year will be and what that will look like. So that will be very exciting. But we appreciate you all for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.